don't need.
연주하기 전에 이거 인사말 할 거고 이거 갖고 있어. 여기다 놓을게. 연주하기 전에 이거 오빠가 한번 읽어주면 돼.
네.
읽어줄
그래.
수 있어?
그래.
멋있어.
진짜 나 손 아파. 아파. 나 아플 것 같아.
좀만 쉬고 있어.
네.
Okay. Hey, let's get started. Hey, today's a really, really special day because we have three very special people who are with us today. And we, in the past 2 days, have become friends. And with the help of Leah and Do and Stella translating for us, and it feels really good. So just take note of that, what's on the screen. Okay, Stella. Today's class, we're calling it Invisible Cultures because it just kind of seems to make sense that there are so many different cultures out in the world that we don't talk about and that we don't see. So the first thing I want to do is welcome, next slide, if you could. So Bae Boum Jun and Bae Ji-soo and Kim Tae-young. So if we could say have applause. Yeah. And Boum Jun.
Yes, thank you.
Here, yeah, you can use this, yeah.
Hello, global leader. I'm Bae Boum Jun, aka a smile angel. I love cello. I'm a cellist of peace. I'm hope everyone feels good. I hope everyone is happy. I hope everyone is healthy, is pretty, and picture. And you are awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Awesome. And just so it's clear, Jisoo is Boum Jun's sister, and she's awesome as well. And we're going to tell a story. Leah's going to tell a story about her. And Tae-young is a mother that many of us would love to have. Really special person. So, yeah. And you may have to translate a few things, Leah, so feel free to do that. Hey, so if we go to the next slide, I'm going to ask Tae-young, how old was Boum Jun in this photo?
4살이었을 거예요. 4살.
He was 4 years old when he took this picture.
Yeah, he's such a really cute young boy. Yeah. And what would you say about this amazing human? What do we need to know?
범준 군은 만 3살 때 외부 충격에 의해서 뇌 손상을 받았어요. 그래서 지적 장애를 갖고 있습니다.
Boum Jun has disability of intellectual disability because of the damage from outside.
그때 당시에 그 충격으로 실어증을 갖게 되고 기억 상실증을 갖게 되었는데 기억 상실증은 나중에 다시 돌아와서 얼마나 감사한지 모릅니다.
So when the incident happened, he had short-term memory loss and aphasia, and he's still having intellectual disability, but now he's good with aphasia and partial memory loss.
And aphasia is when you lose the ability to speak, to vocalize your thoughts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And how is it to be his mother? You can speak in the microphone. Say it in Korean in the microphone what I say.
이 세상의 모든 어머님들은 참 훌륭하시다는 거를 새삼 느낍니다.
Through nurturing Boum Jun, she realized the fact that all the mothers in the world, they are really great people.
저는 분명히 엄마인데 거기엔 해당되지가 않아요.
Even like she's a mom, she thinks it means a lot to be a mother.
그래서 사실 여기 계신 분들은 물론이고 제 자녀한테 꼭 하고 싶은 말이 괜찮아, 우리가 있어 이 말인데 사실 제가 제일 듣고 싶은 말이기도 합니다.
So what she wants to tell is it is really okay to be just being who we are, and that is also the thing that she want to hear from others.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And Jisoo, how is it to be Boum Jun's sister?
I think I'm very happy because he cares about me and he loves me. So I don't care about my brother. Yeah.
Yeah. He's really, you have a very close relationship.
Yeah.
I've been observing you. Yeah.
And he's like my father.
Yeah. We had dinner the other night, and we had really a lovely dinner. Hey, so can you go to the next slide? So Boum Jun is very talented in many ways. He drew, you can see who that is. So he drew that the other day for me, not only you got the earrings right too, and not only he started on the violin, right?
Yeah.
And then he moved to the cello.
Yes.
And then in piano and flute, right?
Yeah. He love music. Yeah. So he say cello like sounds like grandfather, and piano he sounds like his friend, and flute is like an angel. Yeah.
And yesterday we were at the Arboretum, and they have these little kind of like xylophone things that you play with mallets, and Boum Jun picked up the mallets, and I said, okay, hang on, he's a musician, right? What's he going to do? And suddenly he was playing a song. And so were you. The two of you were playing a song.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I thought, oh my God, so interesting. Hey, can we go to the next slide? So when did Boum Jun first, I will ask you also, when did Boum Jun first start really focusing on peace and love?
두 돌 지나서 장래 희망이 뭐냐고 물어봤을 때 두 돌 지난 3살 때부터 평화를 사랑하는 유엔 사무총장이 된다고 했어요.
So when he was like 2 years old, he started a conversation that he really want to be a UN ambassador when he grows up.
2 years old?
네.
Really?
네.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
텔레비전에 싸우는 장면 드라마나 만화 영화가 나와도 껐어요.
When there were any aggressive scenes like fighting from dramas or comic books on television, he just turned it off because he loved peace.
싸우면 안 돼. 서로 사랑해야 돼. 그랬어요.
He used to tell people that you guys should not fight and just love each other.
Yeah, you see it. We see it in you, my friend. Can I say something? Actually, if you turn the volume down on the stream really fast, I'll tell you when to turn it back up because I don't want people. Two of you went to a protest together because you are really special, right? I didn't realize. We have a word for it in English. Like she's really, I don't want to say the word, but can you tell that story that you went to all the high school kids went to the protest?
So when we were both in high schools, we went to a protest for looking for the right that high school kids should have the voting rights as well, and she was there to protest for the right. It's kind of a story that highlights her personality in her youth.
Because you went and you got stuck, you somehow got caught in traffic or something, you weren't able to go, but she made it there, and she was the one that went forward to speak with the mayor, and she represented all the high school kids in Korea, speaking with the mayor and making her demands. But here's the thing that's so special about you. The mayor and the office of the mayor wanted to take photos, like a photo op, and what did you say? No, say in the microphone in English. You got it. What did you tell the mayor?
It is so difficult to spell English, so I want to. 알겠습니다. 그때 당시 한국은 촛불 집회로 굉장히 세상에 되게 많은 주목을 받고 있었는데요. 그때 당시 정권에 대한 저는 비판적인 그런 부정적인 사건에 대해서 말을 하고 싶었지 한 정권을 지지하기 위해서 그 자리에 나온 것이 아니었었습니다. 그래서 저는 그 중립성을 유지하기 위해서 한 정권으로서 대표로서 나온 그 분들과 같이 포토를 찍지 않고 그저 의견을 내비치고 그 학생으로서의 중립적인 의견을 지키는 것에 포커스를 맞췄던 것 같습니다.
So to spill the tea, when the mayor wanted to take a photo with her, she told no because she wanted to stay neutral. She didn't want it to reveal her political colors or want to like support for specific political colors by taking a picture with a specific politician. That was the reason why.
And then it would be about her. What you said the other night at dinner was, what she said was it would be about her, and it wasn't about her. It was about all of the students in Korea, or in Seoul. So that's. Can we go to the next slide? So these are a list of. We have just some flyers that they brought up that say some things about Boum Jun. So if you would like just to have it to read through some things, please come get them after class. But there's such a long list of accomplishments, and in many ways it's all of you. But if you go to the next slide, there are three things that stand out. One is that Boum Jun is very, my friend.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's very concerned about. He works on behalf of young people in Korea, on behalf of disability rights for all young people in Korea. So he has an organization that they started called Awesome, and he's the ambassador at KED. It's Korean. I didn't write it down, but it's Employment Office for Disabilities, I think, yeah. And performed at the UN for International Day of People with Disabilities. So tell me about Awesome.
배범준 군은 중증 장애를 갖고 있습니다. 그래서 다른 또 유형의 장애인들에 비해서 취업을 할 수가 없었습니다.
Because Boum Jun has disabilities, he is not able to work for a specific company.
그런데 범준이가 자신처럼 중증 장애인들을 위한 모금을 하고 그 모금한 돈을 그 장애인에게 선물하는 걸 좋아했습니다.
So Boum Jun used to be a person who did fundraising for the people for the disabled people, just like Boum Jun.
네, 그런 것들을 위한 단체를 2016년도에 만들었습니다.
So he started an organization named Awesome in 2016 with the purpose of helping disabled people, just like Boum Jun is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's cool. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the moment when you bow. Can you? Yeah. So, does he? Okay. One more question. Can we say something about hanbok clothing?
저희가 지금 한복을 입고 왔는데요.
But wait, I'm going to cut you off really fast. I want to say Taeyoung is a historian. Like, she's a teacher, and she's really interested and committed to Korean history. So she knows so much about so many things. We've had so many interesting conversations about Korean history. So, okay. What do we need to know about hanbok?
네, 우선 배범준 군이 입은 한복은 아마 영화에서 본 거하고는 조금 다를 것입니다.
So these are the clothes these are called hanbok, which is traditional wearing in Korea. They are all wearing it. And when you guys see Boum Jun's hanbok, it's a little different from general hanboks that you see from dramas or media in general.
한국 이름으로 철릭이라고 하는데, 네, 철릭. 첼로를 해야 돼서 이렇게 주름 잡힌 철릭을 일부러 선택을 했습니다.
So he's wearing a thing called chunri, which is variation of hanbok. The reason is because he needs to play cello. There are a lot of like wrinkles on the clothes, which will make it more practical when he plays cello, wearing hanbok too.
네. 그리고 지금 여동생인데 범준이가 여동생 이름을 부르지 않고 이렇게 부른다. 아가야.
So she's her younger sister of Bae Boum Jun, and whenever Bae Boum Jun calls her younger sister, she doesn't call her sister, but say agaya, which is baby, sweet honey in Korean words.
그리고 뒤를 잠깐 돌아보면 이렇게 댕기라는 머리를 했는데 결혼하지 않은 여인들이 하는 머리입니다.
So when you look on her back, she's wearing a hair accessory band, which is called dengi in Korea. This is mostly used by girls, women who hasn't married yet.
저는 결혼을 해서 댕기 머리가 아닙니다.
Because she is already married, she's not wearing dengi. That is the difference from her.
그리고 한복 중에서 저는 일부러 이 색을 선택을 한 이유가 있습니다.
Also, she has the reason for picking up the colors for hanbok.
한국의 한복은 색깔과 모양에 따라서 그 사람의 신분과 나이를 나타냅니다.
So, gives a few heads ups. Hanbok, based on the colors and the shape, hanbok shows your age and status.
물론 지금은 잘 지켜지지 않습니다만 지금까지도 지켜지기 때문에 입고 온 한복입니다.
There are many things that are different from back then, but the color thing is still kind of a promise where people can tell things.
제가 아들과 딸이 있듯이 이 푸른색 저고리는 아들을 상징하고 이 분홍색 치마는 딸을 상징합니다.
The color symbolizes few things. The blue color symbolizes having a male child. So because she has Bae Boum Jun, she's wearing blue color on her top, and for the bottom she's wearing pink, which stands for a girl.
이 색깔은 현재도 지켜지고 있는데 어디 가면 흔히 볼 수 있냐면 결혼식장에 가면 신랑 측 부모님은 푸른색 계열의 한복을 입고 신부 측 부모님은 분홍색 계열의 한복을 입습니다.
Where you can see the role is definitely when you go to wedding ceremonies. So if you are parents of groom's side, you wear bluish colors, and parents on the wife's side, they are wearing pinkish color.
이건 단순한 색깔만 뜻하는 게 아닙니다.
It's just not a symbol of color.
남성분들이 갖고 있는 기가 있는데 그걸 한국어로 양기라고 합니다.
It relates to yang and in theory, which symbolizes the color of man. It doesn't really symbolize the color of man. It symbolizes yang and ki in Korean words.
반면 우리 여성분들은 음기라고 합니다.
So girls are mostly born with the thing called umgi.
한국은 예를 갖추는데 나보단 남을 위한 예입니다.
People respect for others, and that is to respect someone.
그래서 남성분들의 양기를 차분하게 가라앉히기 위한 음기의 색깔의 푸른색을 입고 그와 반대로 여성은 음기를 좀 낮추기 위해서 붉은색의 옷을 입습니다. 네, 그러니까 위더름께 예를 갖추기 위해서 남성이 갖고 있는 그 양기를 좀 더 네.
To show the respect, because males usually have the vibe called yang. Girls usually wear the color that symbolizes to kind of like show respect, and vice versa.
Thank you. Yeah, you taught me something the other night that always in Korea. Here, stand up for a second. If we were to shake hands in Korea, what happens often, I'll turn this way, is people always put their hand under here. It's common. And it's a very genteel way of shaking hands. It's not like this big slap or big something. It's always, you walk up to someone and just very soft. And the reason is because he has, here. So he has to hold this. Yeah, the hanbok. The sleeves can be really long, so he's going to hold the sleeves up. Yeah, whereas I don't have that. Right, so it's pretty cool. But for years, ever since I started working with Koreans, I wondered why it is that everybody shakes like this. Everybody does, yeah. And then I start to do it, and even here in the United States, I do it with other Americans, And I was just in Egypt when I was there 2 weeks ago. And with some Egyptian guy, I went up to him and I did this, and he looked at me and said, what are you doing? You know, but it's pretty cool. Hey, so let's do, so thank you. And Boum Jun is going to perform for us now.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
감사합니다.
Okay. The first piece he's going to perform turns out to be my absolute favorite piece by Bach. And so I'm really, when I found out he played cello and he was going to play Bach, I was hoping that he would play this piece.
Thank you. The first song to play is cellist Bae Boum Jun favorite song. He say he can feel all four seasons of spring, summer, fall, and winter. It's Bach cello suite no. 1 prelude. And the second song is 아리랑 Alone. This song is about Dokdo, an island in Korea. The
Hey.
third,
I want to say that song is very, very famous in Korea. It's called Arirang. Yeah.
the third song is Beautiful Country, his own arrangement of Arirang in Korea. He says he imagining flowers blooming in the mountains of Korea. Let's give him a big hand.
Thank you.
Bae Boum Jun, thank you. Yeah. Oh. Hey, and thank you. Thank all of you for the love. That's awesome. Hey, we are going to take a few minutes to demonstrate a a Korean tea ceremony. We need a few volunteers. So I know we have one person who was volunteering. Michael, why don't you volunteer? And do we have, okay, you want to volunteer? Now, someone who hasn't volunteered yet. Wait, who was going to volunteer today? Come. Yeah? You want to volunteer? Okay, come. And we need one more person, someone who hasn't volunteered yet. You want to volunteer, bro? You want to volunteer? Come. Yeah. Come. You want to volunteer? Who wants to volunteer? You want to volunteer? Bro. You want to volunteer? Come on. You can sit here. Here. Yeah. No, we'll we have enough chairs. Hey, so let me say a couple things while they're putting this together. You know, East Asian culture is very much exemplified by, I would say, two words really. Probably more than anything, elegant simplicity. And when you're in Korean culture and when you enter into Korean culture, those two words really stand out. And things are very precise and subtle. And so I'm going to tell just a quick story to enter in. I spent some time in a Buddhist monastery, and the goal of the work in that monastery is not just sitting in zazen, sitting in meditation, but rather to be aware of the present moment. And each and every single moment, getting as much out of it as you possibly can. And so this ceremony, the Korean tea ceremony, very much represents that. It's about being present, about being balanced. And so Boum Jun is going to demonstrate Korean tea ceremony. And Stella here can also, you can translate and jump in when we need to explain some things of what's going on. Okay.
네, 배범준 지금부터 다래를 하겠는데요. 이 다래는 중국은 다 중국과 한국과 일본이 이름이 똑같지는 않고 조금씩 다릅니다. 그러나 아마 상대방에게 존중을 하면서 정성을 다하는 거는 똑같을 거라 여겨집니다.
Okay, so from now on, we're going to do a tea ceremony called tare in Korean. There's three, so there are Chinese, Korean, and Japanese who perform tea ceremony, but the main fact, like the bottom line, they all have the same meaning, which is to be polite and respectful for each other.
이제부터 다래를 할 건데요. 범준 군이 한국말로는 팽주라고 합니다. 다래를 하는 사람. 네.
So now we're going to do tea ceremony, and the person who performs tea ceremony is called Pengju in Korean.
배범준 공수 인사부터 합니다. 공수 인사.
Okay. So Bae Boum Jun is going to be the Pengju for today's ceremony, and what he just did is he bowed before the tea ceremony to respect its performance.
오른손으로 다건을 잡아서 왼손에 놓습니다.
With your right hand, hold the.
네, 행주 타워. 네.
So you place your hand towel on the right hand and place them on the left hand.
네, 지금 티포트를 한국에서는 탕관이라고 합니다. 탕관을 들어서
So the teapot in Korean is called
탕관.
tangwan, and you lift it and place them on top of the hand towel.
수구의 3분의 2 정도 붓습니다. 무척 뜨거워서 조심해야 합니다.
You have to be really careful because it's really hot, and you pull 2/3 into the tea ball.
다관의 뚜껑을 열어서 개치 위에 올려놓습니다.
Put the lid on top of ketsu, which is the one that he put the lid on and then you put the hot water into the teapot.
다시 다관의 뚜껑을 닫아서 오른손으로 다관을 잡고 첫 번째 찻종부터 3분의 2 정도 부어줍니다. 첫 번째 찻종부터 3분의 2 정도 부어줍니다.
So you put the lid on top, and with your right hand,
두 번째,
with your right hand, pour the 2/3 in the first cup, and the second cup,
세 번째,
and the third cup,
네 번째,
the fourth cup,
다섯 번째까지 부어줍니다.
and the fifth cup.
끝까지 안에 있는 물이 나오도록 합니다.
And then you pour it until the water is dried in the pot. There's no longer.
이 행위는 찻종을 따뜻하게 데워주는 역할을 합니다.
그럼 이건 마시는 건 아니에요?
아니에요.
So
네.
this process was not to drink the tea, but it was to make the cup warm. So when you actually brew the tea later, you can enjoy it in the warm temperature.
다시 탕관을 들어서 수구에 물을 3분의 2 정도 채워줍니다.
Doing the same process, pour this 2/3 of the hot water into the sugu, which is the first tea bowl that we're going to perform.
다관의 뚜껑을 열어서 개취에 올려놓고 오른손으로 다건을 잡아서 제자리에 놓은 뒤에 차호를 들어서 왼손에 놓아둡니다.
So with the right hand,
차호. 이게 손을 왼손으로 하면 이 찻상 위를 어긋나게 해서 동선이 나오지 않습니다. 네.
So the reason why I asked is because she makes sure that he only performs with right hand, and I asked why. It's because you don't want to ruin the harmony on top of the tea table, so that's why you always want to perform with your dominant hand. And so even though he was holding the hand towel in the left hand, he had to place him down with the right hand. And with the right hand, he placed the hand towel down, and now he picked up the teapot to brew the tea.
네, 차호를 다관에 가까이 가져가서 수북하게 2스푼 정도 놓아줍니다.
Um,
1스푼, 2스푼.
you put 2 full spoons into the
차시
teapot
먼저 두고
and place
차고 뚜껑을 가지고 와서 닫아서 제자리에 놓습니다.
place the spoon down and you close it with the right hand and place them right back where it was.
다시 닭건을 왼손에 놓고 수구의 물을 닭안에 넣어줍니다.
With your right hand, place them on top of the left hand. Place the hand towel on top of your left hand and pour the hot water into the brewing teapot.
닭안의 뚜껑을 닫은 뒤에 이 닭안은 그대로 놓아둡니다. 왜냐하면 차가 우러나는 시간을 두기 위함입니다.
So we just leave it like how it is right now, so that the tea can brew while we wait for the tea, to be brewed.
네, 전에 따라두었던 첫 번째 찻종부터 가지고 와서
So in that time, we're going to.
태수기에 버려줍니다.
So we heat up the cups with the hot water in the beginning, right? So during this brewing time, we're going to place those water back into this bowl so that you throw out the heating water that was not used for tea, so that you can prepare for the tea, upcoming brewing tea.
찻종이 그동안 따뜻하게 데워졌을 것입니다.
So the cups are going to be heated up.
마찬가지로 닭안 속에 있는 찻잎도 우러났을 겁니다.
And the tea inside the pot will be brewed. Yeah, enough that we can drink the tea now.
닭안을 잡아서 첫 번째 찻종부터 3분의 1씩 조금씩만 넣어줘서 옮깁니다.
So we pour 1/3 of the tea into each cup from the first cup to the fifth.
아주 조금씩 넣어주고 다섯 번째 찻종에 넣어주면 다시 거꾸로 올라갑니다. 다섯 번째부터 네 번째 거꾸로 올라갑니다.
So when you're done with the 1/3 of amount from 1 to 5, we go back from 5 to 1 to fill the rest of the water that is left.
네, 다시 마지막 세 번째 반복을 하는데요. 그 이유는 골고루 차가 우러나는 것을 담기 위함입니다.
So we do that 1 to 5, 5 to 1, and 1 to 5 again. So we do it 3 times, and it's because you want to have proportionally brewed tea. Yeah.
세 번에 나눠서 해야 되는데 지금 네 번 여러 번 한 것 같습니다.
Oh, you're supposed to do 3 times, but he did it 4 to 5. But
Yeah.
네, 오른손으로 찻탁을 가지고 와서 왼손에 놓은 뒤에 마지막 다섯 번째 찻종만 가지고 옵니다.
So you place the tea plate on top of your hand and bring the 5th cup on top instead of the first one.
네, 한국의 예절은 뭐든지 첫 번째 제일 위더름께 주는데 이 차만큼은 먼저 팽줄 겁니다. 자기 자리에 옆에 놓아둡니다.
So in Korean culture, you always try to respect the eldest among all in the group. So you always give them the first tea. But in this case, because he was a tea master, like Pengju, so he's going to have the last cup for himself before he gives to the eldest one.
네, 그다음 찻탁을 가지고 와서
Bring the
왼손 위에 놓고 제일 첫 번째 찻종을 가지고 옵니다.
bring the tea plate and bring the first one on top of the tea plate.
이 차는 가장 위더름 또는 귀한 분께 드리는 차입니다.
So that first cup is going to be for someone who's the eldest in the group or the one who's the main guest among all.
네, 여기 계신 분 중에 연장자가 누군지 모를 경우에는 제일 오른쪽에 계신 분께 드립니다.
Okay, so if you don't know who's the eldest in this group of people, you always give to the one who's on the right. So you're going to get the first one.
두 손으로 찻탁을 잡고 들이면 두 손으로 받아서 놓아둡니다. 네,
So
앞에 놓아둡니다.
Mike is going to get the first cup and with 2 hands, and you have to place it in front of you,
마시면 안 돼요.
and you cannot drink it.
두 두 번째 찻탁을 가지고 와서 두 번째 찻종을 가지고 온 뒤에 차례대로 드립니다. 두 손으로 드립니다.
With two hands, you go through the same process from clockwise, right? Yeah, from the right to
차례대로
the left.
가지고 와서 왼손에 차를 놓고 세 번째 찻종을 해서 바로 옆에 계신 분께 드립니다. 또 찻탁을 가지고 와서 찻종을 놓은 뒤에 두 손으로 드립니다.
This is really important that you're performing this with two hands because if you give out with one hand, it's really disrespectful to in our culture. So every time when she explained, she said like place the tea with your two hands. So always like just keep that in mind.
아직도 드시면 안 됩니다.
And you cannot still drink it yet.
우선 팽주가 찻종을 들고 아주 조금 입안에 머뭅니다. 조금만 향을 맡은 뒤에 입안에 조금만 넣습니다. 네, 입안에 이 찬 한 모금을 입 안에 불려봅니다.
So
그리고-
no.
그리고 맛이 좋나요?
네.
그러면 인사를 합니다. 이건 마셔도 됩니다라는 신호입니다.
Okay. Oh, that's long. So the tea master in this group, he's going to take a little bit of sip and then hold it into his mouth, so that he can see like if the tea tastes good or not. So she asked, "Is the tea tasting good?" And he said, "Yeah." So when he placed his tea back on the table, now you're allowed to drink.
인사 한 번 더 해주세요. 인사. 이제 드셔도 됩니다.
And then now
단
you can
조금만 입안에 머금어 주세요.
you can drink, but you have to. Yeah. Wait, don't drink yet. 차례대로 마셔야 되는
아니요. 다 같이 인사를 했기 때문에 같이 드세요.
No, you guys can all drink together, but take a little bit of sip.
네, 조금씩. 절대
little by little.
달콤하진 않아요.
So it's not going to be sweet because it's like very first brewly tea. So what?
굉장히 떨떠름하거나 느껴질 텐데 뒷맛은 구수합니다.
It's pretty bitter. Like,
어떤지 네.
okay, what does it taste like?
It's a little bit bitter. It's good though.
그 잎이 첫잎, 두잎, 세잎까지 난 잎만 뽑아서 말린 잎인데 이걸 세작차라고 불립니다.
다시 한번 그 세작차.
어린 잎 세 개 잎만 났을 때 뜯어서 말린 차입니다.
Okay, so this.
음.
Let's cut it. Okay. So this tea is called 세작차.
네.
세작차, which is when there's only 3 leaves on this one plant, we picked it up and then and then dry them as a tea. So that's why it's not fully grown tea. It's very young trees leaves.
마지막으로 다 같이 맞절을 합니다.
맞절을 어떻게 하나요?
인사합니다. 공수 인사.
So at last, you're all going to bow to each other. And 이거 공수를 좀 설명해도 될까요? 이거 제가 1분. Yeah. So if you're girls, place your right hand on top, and if you're guys, place your left hand on top and bow to each other. You hold it like this. Well, you guys are gonna do this. And then you guys bow to each other as the ending of the tea performance. Tea
네.
ceremony, yeah.
Yeah, very cool. And normally there wouldn't be somebody translating and talking, but really, really cool. Yeah, thank you. Oh, man. Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, thank you all. Yeah, and that's a gift from Korea.
So she gave them the Korean traditional like pattern envelope opener. There are some more. So if you're at the end of class, if you're interested, please come down and get the souvenirs that they brought from Korea.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, great. Yeah. Good. No. So listen. So this guy, we're gonna switch a little bit, and then we're gonna go back because he's going to have a conversation also. But so he filled out the volunteer form, and you have a sister.
Yeah.
Tell us about Caitlin.
So, first of all, my name's Mike. But Caitlin is my sister. She has special needs, meaning that she needs help with certain things. Her specific needs is that, or her specific syndrome is Nicolaides-Baraiter syndrome. What that means is that when she was born, she had a gene mutation that led to a slowed development. And then if you look at her, she has a little bit of thinned hair and kind of a thinner complexion. And so this specific gene mutation has caused her to have some slow development, and then basically she has seizures, and she can't talk, so she's nonverbal. And then on top of that, she basically will make noises or sounds to present how she's feeling or her emotions. So she's a sweetheart, and I love her to death. But yeah, so growing up with her was a little bit different than an average sibling. So I'm a triplet, so two of my other sisters, the one to the left, the one to the right, that's Kristen to the left and Olivia to the right. And basically, growing up with them, along with my sister Caitlin, has been a pretty unique experience.
So tell us like what we wouldn't know if we saw you in public, the four of you. Okay, because I've been with this family now for 2 days. What would you want us to know about the four of you?
I think the biggest thing I'd want to know, that I'd want you to know, is one, how close we are, but two, the personality of my sister, specifically Caitlin.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why is because her as my sister, a lot of people, when they look at her or when they get to know her, it's very surface level, but she can't communicate back.
Uh-huh.
But she specifically has a personality that I think is very unique. She makes faces at you. She smiles. She'll give high five, meaning that she just, touches your hands. And so, really, it's cool because, like a person like her is very special, and it's really cool that she still has her own personality, just like you or I. So I think that's what I'd want you to know.
And yeah, that's cool. Thanks. That's cool. It's like the sibling thing. What do you see in Boum Jun? Because the two of you, I want to ask first off what you see in him, but also in Jesu, because the two of you have a bond. What do you see in Boum Jun that just immediately, because you just immediately have a special relationship with him because you understand something.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I notice immediately is, one, it's the innocence. It's the very happy, very smiley, just pure joy. And I think that's very special about people who have developing issues or special needs. It's just, my sister is very smiley, very happy all the time. And when she's not, you know it. And so it's really cool to see, one, another person who's, who has special needs. And two, I can just see the relationship between him and his sister is very similar to like a relationship that I have with Caitlin, because it's really tight, it's close, and it's cool how you guys interact, because it reminds me of my relationship with my sister. So.
Yeah, very cool. Mm-hmm. Hey, and while you're up here, what do you see in the relationship in this family?
It's like very sweet. Like he said earlier, like he's very happy, and I can see that too. Yeah, like their relationship is very nice. It's very sweet, yeah.
And do you wear hearing aids, right?
Yeah.
Are you?
I just have like moderate to severe hearing loss. So I do wear hearing aids. I've worn them since I was like the first grade. So yeah.
Do you read lips also?
Yeah.
So are you reading my lips now, or are you listening to me?
It's a little bit of both. Whenever I go to the doctors, like the one thing they do is cover the lips so they test you correctly, really. So I've always grown up to reading people's lips my whole life.
So I could do that now, and we'll see if you can hear me, right?
Yeah, but then I also did get new hearing aids, so they do work better.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what do you? So it's similar, right? When you meet, if you were to meet Caitlin or Boum Jun, like do you feel an immediate, like kind of an affinity to them?
Not really.
Because it's different. Because the disability is very different.
Yeah. But I also didn't like grow up around a lot of people who did have.
Yeah.
Well, for me specifically, hearing loss. But yeah. So I would say I do have a different relationship when it comes to like being with other people with disabilities and stuff.
Yeah, but my guess is you tune in at a level,
Yeah.
right? Like you tune in that. Hey, what do you so I want to yeah, can you I have a question for you. So Taeyoung.
First of all, she wants to give them a hug.
She what?
She wants to give them a hug.
Yeah.
If they're fine.
Yeah. She's like a mom.
I just want to say she reminds me of my mother, which is really cool.
Yeah.
I know the hard work that you probably put in to raise your son and daughter, and so just thank you. I know what it takes, so my mom's watching now, so I hope she says hi. But
And Jisoo, like what do you know about her that somebody else doesn't know? What do you know about her?
about Jisoo,
Yeah.
I think the level of awareness and humility that you have for someone with a disability or special needs. Just honestly, like when I see someone with special needs, it makes my face light up because of the fact that I know that it reminds me of someone who's really close to me. And it reminds me that I know how much she means to me, so I know how much he means to you. And also the fact that, like, in terms of how we were created and what it looks like, that we're all just as human as everybody else. And that, well, at least in my belief, like, we were all created in the image of God. And so I just see that you love him so much. It's really cool to see.
Oh man, that's nice. Yeah. Jisoo, did you understand? How much did you understand? 80%? Okay. Here. Do you have anything that what would you like to say to this lovely being?
영어로는 제가 말하고자 하는 게 다 표현이 안 될 것 같아서 통역가 분들한테 부탁을 드리겠습니다.
She can't really tell you 100% what she's feeling in English, so that she's trying to use me or other guys to translate.
장애인 형제를 갖고 있는 장애인 형제와 함께 한다는 것이 지금은 매우 기쁘고 물론 저에게 아주 축복 같은 오빠와 함께 가족이라는 것이 굉장히 행복하지만 사실 자라면서 굉장히 많은 힘든 일들이 있었습니다.
So now they're thinking they're blessed to have disability siblings, like you and her. But when they're growing up, they have like harsh time.
아마도 다르지 않을 거라고 생각해요.
She thinks your life might be similar to hers.
그래서 저도 많이 힘들었지만 제가 느끼기에 방금 이제 동생에 대해서 말씀을 해주셨을 때 굉장히 강인한 사람이고 얼마나 동생을 사랑하고 또 그 과정 속에서 얼마나 많은 힘듦이 있었고 당신이 얼마나 많은 일들이 있었는지 알게 되어서 당신뿐만 아니라 저기 있는 분도 굉장히 소중하고 너무 멋있는 사람이라고 생각이 듭니다.
When she's hearing both of you guys' stories, she could feel you guys are a really strong person, and they're you guys are like precious people in the world.
Thank you too. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. Do you, so, as a student in the class who's just goes through this, right? And tell it, where are you from? Where were you born?
I was born in Maryland.
In Maryland?
Yeah.
And your ancestry is Eritrean, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how is it, I don't know, I guess I want to just ask you because I would open it up to the class, but you're here, so I'm going to put you on the spot. How is it today, like to meet these 4 people now, right? How is it for you? Like what are you walking away with?
Like a new idea. Like the tea ceremony was very cool. In our culture, we do have something kind of similar to that. It's a Boon ceremony.
With coffee, right?
Yeah, the coffee.
Yep.
So like that was really cool. Trying to like seeing the Korean culture with and like the similarities and stuff. That was really nice. So yeah, that was like the main.
And what would you like to say to Boum Jun? Here, wait. So she's going to speak to Boum Jun. Can you? Yeah.
Hi. The cello was actually amazing. It was.
Here.
When I was coming here, I was a little nervous. So when I heard the music, it was just very it was like beautiful and everything. So I really enjoyed it, listening to it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, man, and Michael, how about you? What would you?
Yeah, I think I'd like to say just I think I'd like to say that you are very precious because you show a side of a person that is very happy and joyful, and I think that that's something that we can all learn from when we go about everyday life. It gives me a lot of hope and a lot of joy, and I think that's cool, and I think that that's really, really special. So, and I think that your talents and abilities are something that I'm blown away by as well. So.
You're awesome too.
He say he's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Well, I feel honored to have just to be here. I feel honored that you would come. So he has watched Social 119. Boum Jun, you have watched Social 119 in the translated when there are subtitles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, I have to come to Penn State to play for these students.
I'm happy too.
He say, I'm happy to
Yeah.
meet you and everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very cool, my friend. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, happy mom, right? Thank you. So, happy mom has the final words to the class. Yeah. No, and it will be easy. We only have 1 minute, so this will be very easy.
범준이가 여기 왜 오고 싶었는지 이해할 수가 없었어요.
She couldn't understand why Bae Boum Jun wants to be here.
오고 나서 알았어요.
After she got here, they're here. Like she now understands.
교수님의 수업을 유튜브로 보았지만
They all watched Sam's lecture through YouTube.
한국에서는 이미 유명하신 교수님이시고
He's really famous in Korea.
여기 계신 모든 분들이 앞으로 글로벌 리더라고 말하더라고요.
Bae Boum Jun says all of you guys will be global leader.
동생분이 말로 표현하지 못하고 소리로 표현한다는 것은 동생분이 말로 하지 않고 소리로 표현한다는 것도 표현입니다.
His sister could not really speak, but making sounds is same as like having conversation.
정말 소중한 사람이에요. 그 동생도 여기 범준이도
Your sister is really important person,
물론
as Bae Boum Jun,
여러분들도요.
and all of you guys.
여러분들이 앞으로 세계 리더가 되셔서
You guys gonna be leader of the world.
중증 장애인들도 함께 살 수 있는 세상을 꼭 같이 만들어 주세요.
She wants you guys to make the world we can live with disabled people.
감사합니다.
Yeah. 합니다.
Thank you.
합니다. Okay, thank you, everybody. Hey, and if you would like to just get a brochure, feel free to take one. There's some lovely quotes from Boum Jun, and yeah, please.
Students who volunteered for today, please come see me
Can we
after
do
class.